I thought about whether or not I was going to post this, and I don't even know if YouTube would let it out. Most of you guys know that I'm a veteran. I served in the Army. And I don't think a lot of people understand what military men and women go through. I'm going to tell you a little bit my story, and then I'm going to tell you what I just saw. I went to basic training, and I want you to picture a football field. And then I want you to picture that football field with barbed wire going across it. And then picture only having maybe 2 to 3 feet to get between the barbed wire fence and across the football field to the other side. Now, while doing that, you are doing what the military call a low crawl. And that's basically on your stomach. You have your weapon across your arms. You have hundreds of other sisters and brothers on your left, on your right. You have your drill sergeant behind you. And over your head, you have fire going off, bombs. You can see the red from the muzzles. And to this day, I don't know whether or not the ammo in that is real. But even if it's not, it's real to us. You have drill sergeant behind you telling you to go, 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 go. And it's muddy and it's barbed wire fence over you. You can't stand up, but you're scared. Even if you do stand up, you're scared that you're going to get killed because you don't know whether or not the ammo is real. No one ever tells you that. And to this day, I don't know if the ammo was real, but I can't get it out of my head. I hear a car do a slam, and I jump. I can hear a telephone ring, and if I'm not thinking, I jump. And I know some of you out there are saying, oh, that's so stupid, that's so silly. And hey, I get it. I understand. Because until you go through it, until you are in that situation, you don't know. You don't know how you're going to act. You don't know how you're going to react. And yeah, I signed up for it. And to this day, if I had to do it all over again, I would. And I know this is cliche, but I do. I love my country. But I love my children. I love my family more than I love this country. And I believe that serving this country is serving my family, is making sure that my family is going to be safe. And then picture I guess it's a barn, a barn the size of where all the horses are kept. But it's a metal box. And you're in your gear. You have your gas mask on. And you're all lined up again. And you got to go in the gas chamber. And you're freaking out because it's dark and there's smoke everywhere. And once again, you have a drill sergeant there. And you know what you got to do? You got to break your seal. You got to take your mask off. And you can try to hold your breath, but as long as you're holding your breath, your drill sergeant is going to make you stay right there. And picture, I'm laughing because, and I'm crying at the same time, but my experience is you got 2 drill sergeants and you got soldiers lined up against the wall. And the drill sergeant come in front of you and he said, break your seal. So you break your seal. But you got a person that's standing beside you that's freaking out. So the drill sergeant that's in front of you that's supposed to tell you to seal your mask back up is over there helping your sister or your brother because they're freaking out. And you're standing there. You can't move. You can't move anywhere until drill sergeant say move. And you breathe and you can't breathe. And then finally a drill sergeant realized what's going on and he tell you to put your seal back on. Then you go out. When you go out, you take your mask off. And you're really supposed to break your mask and say your name, rank, and social. And then you're supposed to seal your mask back. And when you go out the gas chamber, your brothers and sisters, they're out there. You got snot from your nose hanging down to the ground. Drill sergeant comes say, you okay? Yes, drill sergeant. Yes, drill sergeant. Too easy. Too easy, drill sergeant. Too easy. I don't think people know what soldiers do for their country, even just in basic training. That's before you leave to go to war. And that's before you even leave your own soil. I'm a big girl. I really am. And you have a tower. Yes, you do two towers. One tower you go up and you got 3 wires that's going across a big net. One set of ropes. One set of ropes is shaped like a V. One rope is just a straight rope. And then the other rope is 2 ropes. So drill sergeant say, if you fall, you're fish in the net, you're fish in the net. You got to do it all over again. So you don't want to be a fish in the net. I was going across the 3 ropes. That's the first one. And my foot slipped. In some way, I caught myself. I didn't fall. But I heard something snap in my ankle. But I kept going. I made it through the 3 wires. Then the next one is the single one. You got to lay down on that one single wire And you got to pull yourself across that net. And it's a balancing act. It really is. It's a balance act. And then you see 2 or 3 people in front of you, they fall. And you hear drill sergeant fussing them out, fussing them out. You make it across that one. Ankle hurting, in pain. Then you have to get up and you have to go across the 2 wires. And that's harder than the 3 or the 1, because you're holding on to one, you got your feet on the other one, and it's really hard for you to balance. So you're actually falling back and you're actually going across really hand over monkey bar style. That's how bad you don't want to be a fish in the net. And then after that, they say you got the parasail, paraglide, basically you got to sit on the side of the tower and you got to pretty much hold a rope and fall backwards. Actually, it's not falling back. They tell you to sit down. So you're sitting down in the air, holding that rope, feet against the tower. And then you got to, they tell you they want you to slide down it or walk it down. So you walk it down. Get down to the bottom. Hey, you made it through Victory Tower. But when you go back to the dorm, your drill sergeant see you limping. What's wrong with you, Prime? Nothing, drill sergeant. Fine, drill sergeant. You wake up the next morning, ankle, big, what ball can I say? Baseball, softball. I think a softball is bigger than a baseball because a woman's baseball is bigger. So your ankle's like that. But you get up, agony pain, and you put on your boot. Actually, no, it's not. It's not your boot. It's your sneaker because you're getting ready to do PT. And, wouldn't you know it, today is cardio day. So that's running 3 miles. 3 miles on your ankle in pain. You're running in formation. If you fall back, drill sergeant met your whole battalion or platoon, turn around, pick you up. So that extends your 3 miles even more. You want to run. You do. You want to run so bad because you love your brothers and sisters. You get to love the people that you spend time with. But you can't. You're hurting so bad. You got drill sergeant hollering, move, pride, run, pride. So I'm jumbled all up here because the first thing you hear before you even go to basic, my best friend, she's gone now. She passed away. She passed away of cancer, but she said, sis, if you get a female drill sergeant, you're gonna have it bad, real bad. So you go in your mind, oh God, please don't let me get no female drill sergeant, please. So when you first get there, you're on this bus, and they tell you, and you got to put your head down because they don't want to see. They don't want you to see where you're going because you just going around the corner, but they take you probably 10 miles just to go one because they don't want you to know how close to civilization you really are. So you rush off the bus, you got these two duffel bags, you got one on your front, one on your back, and you got to run, and these things weigh a ton, and you got to run. You got to run from the bus to your battalion, your barracks or your battalion or whatever they want to call it. And then you run up there, and then you drop your sea bags, and you standing in this line, and you got drill sergeants standing in front of you, and they like, you go there, left, right, you go there, you go there. So they're breaking you down in your platoons, whether you're going to be A, B, C, or D platoon. So they have to have a certain amount of female soldiers in each platoon. So you lined up, and they telling you where to go, and a platoon has a female drill sergeant, and you stand in that line and you praying, God, please don't let me go there. Please don't let me go there. And so when they get to you, they tell you to go to your right. That's B platoon. Your heart says, thank you, God. But then after everybody's in their platoon, drill sergeant looking at their platoon, and they're like, battle don't have enough female soldiers. So they make you get back in line again and go all over. This time they get to you. You have to go to the left. Oh, God. Female drill sergeant. Drill sergeant Knight. Oh, man. She probably was like 4 feet, 2 inches, or 4. She was short. Only come to me probably about right here. But she was a bad female. All her battles, they call each other battles. All of them respected her. She had mad respect. Mad respect. But I was scared. I was scared of her. I'm 32 years old. 32 years old and basic training with 18 and 19-year-olds. They called me Mama G or Mama Gibbs. And they, before we even got to our barracks, we was in intake. They don't tell you about that. They don't tell you that you got to spend a week in intake. You got to pass a PT test, and that week don't count towards the weeks that you're gone from home. So I told my children, Mom won't be gone this amount of weeks, but in actuality, it's a week longer. And if you get hurt, they say they recycle you. So that means you got to go to a unit that is full of other soldiers that's hurt, like you. And you're either going to stay there and heal, or they're going to send you back home. And if they send you back home, you got to start all over again. You go home. They said, go home and heal, Pride. Go home and heal. You don't want to, you done made it through red phase. That's the first, you made it through intake, barely. You only had to run a mile for intake, but the mile is all uphill, half a mile uphill, and then half a mile down here. And you only have like 8 or 9 minutes, not 8 or 9 minutes, maybe probably a 6-7 minute mile. That's the pace that they want you to run. 6 minute mile, I think it is. If you in the army, and you in the basic, tell me how many minutes we had to do our mile of intake. Well, I'm gonna tell you how close it was. I prayed the whole way. God, please please let me make it. Please let me make it. And I'm running, and I'm like, they tell you as long as you stay in front of the drill sergeant, you'll make it. You'll clear it. So you keep looking back, see what drill sergeant at. You see drill sergeant catching up with you. You try with all your might to run faster. Then you get to the last little bit. So you got to go probably not even a half of a football field, and then you got to turn back around, so you're going like towards the finish line. I guess you call it the finish line, but when you going down that last stretch, drill sergeant just run right past you, and you're like, oh God, I'm gonna have to be recycled. So you're running, and as you're running, I had gave up. I really did. I gave up because I was like, drill sergeant passed me, I'm gonna fail. And you hear all your battle buddies, all of them just standing there cheering you on because they have so much respect for you. And you hear something 50, 47, some 48, something 49, and they're calling out the seconds, and you only have like 3 to 5 seconds left to get across the finish line. I had 1 second left. 1 second left. And I crossed the finish line. But I had battles behind me that didn't make it. And you thinking that they only missed it by 5 or 6 seconds. So surely drill sergeant not gonna make them stay in intake another week and have to take the PT test all over again. That 5 seconds. Had to start over again. But I made it. Only to get hurt the first week of basic. I popped something in my ankle. And I stayed on it for probably 3 days before drill sergeant made me go to sick call. I'm going to tell you something about drill sergeant Knight in a minute. She made me go to sick call. And specialist is at the counter and sick call. And he like, ask you, so what you want? Just give me a profile for a week. I'll be all right in a week. So he give you a profile for soft shoes and no PT for a week. So every day you get up, have your soft shoes on, whether you have your camis or your PT uniform on, and you sitting. If it's muscle failure day, then you sitting there, you're watching all your battles suffer because they doing push-ups, sit-ups, front back goes, motorcycles, all those things, and you feel bad because you're sitting over on the sidelines and you chilling, but you feel guilt in your heart because they're your battles. You know that. They got your back. And then a week goes by. So you come off your PT. You come off your profile. And then now you got a march. You got a rucksack march. So that means you got your rucksack on and they tell you to put a certain amount of weight in your rucksack, and you're going on this march, and you're in formation. It's fun because drill sergeant calling out cadence. You had to go home with your left. You're right. You had to go home with your left. You're right. Sound off. 1, 2. Sound off. 3, 4. Break it on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know you got this burst of energy because you know you got other platoons or battalions that's coming by you, and it's like a competition. Your drill sergeant say that you better be louder than them. You better be louder than them. And you screaming, but you having fun. But you're working. You're having your PT at the same time. So you make it through that day, and everybody said, "Mama Gibbs, just go to sit call again. You go to sit call, Mama Gibbs. Please go to sit call." And I'm praying to God. I'm reading my word. I'm saying, God, please. I don't want to be recycled. God, please. I don't want to be recycled. So I said, "Dear Sergeant, I need to go to sit call." She said, "Okay." Now, remember I told you, everybody say, don't get a female drill sergeant because your life is going to be miserable. And why did I have to be in the platoon that always were in trouble? Always in trouble. Always. We were always pushing. We were always doing overhead arm claps. We were always doing it. We ain't had any problems with push-ups and sit-ups on Find a PT Day because we done did so many of them from people screwing up. And it ain't like you got one person that's screwing up, but your whole battalion, your whole platoon is getting the same punishment that they're getting. And sometimes you'll start make them stand off to the side while you doing the punishment. That's their punishment, watching you get punished. Yeah. But when you in front of drill sergeant, she tearing you up. She laying you out. She all in your face. Remember, she this tall, but she packs a punch as far as when she make you feel this big, make you feel smaller than her. But not me. Not me. Not me. Shoot. I'm not. I wasn't the oldest. Gray was the oldest. Gray was 35 years old. I was 32 years old. And then we had a guy that was in his 30s. But everybody else was 18, 19, 20 years old. So you already been there, did that, what they doing, but you're going through the same thing that they're going through. But all of them are looking up to you, and you're hurt. So I went to sit call. I was sit called 2 more times, and I was on profile. The third time, Jill Star said, "You going to the hospital." So we'll go to the hospital. You got a captain that comes in. Say you got stress fractures in your legs, and your ankle has a real bad sprain in it. She said, "We're gonna have to recycle you." I cried and I cried and I cried like a baby. Captain left out the room. I'm still crying. I feel like a failure. I failed them. I failed myself. I failed my best friend. He was my boyfriend at the time, but now he's my husband. I failed him. I failed my children. I just felt like a failure. And I'm still crying. Captain come back in and she says, what do you want? So what do you want? Private. Everybody was a private. Everybody was a private. When you went through, you could go in as a sergeant, but when you going through basic training, you're a private. And so she said, what do you want, private? And I said, "Man, I want to be a soldier, man. I want to be a soldier. I want to stay with my platoon. I don't want to be recycled. I don't want to be recycled." So she says, "This is what we're going to do. I'm going to let you go back to your battalion, your platoon." And she said, "I'm going to let you stay there as long as you can stay." She said, "But you're going to be back. You're going to be back within a week, and I'm going to have to recycle you. I'm going to give you until you get to blue phase." So you got red phase, white phase, blue phase. And blue phase is your last phase before you do graduation, before you do victory forage. So I'm like, thank you, Cap, thank you so much, thank you. So she put you on crutches, and she sent you back to your platoon, your battalion. And you thanking God, I made it through. I'm making it through. So every morning you wake up, you got to do PT. Then you got to do some form of exercise. Or some type of drill or something. And you're hurting. You're hurting, and you want to go to sick call so bad, but then Captain voice is in your head. If you come back, I'm gonna have to recycle you. You come back, I'm gonna have to recycle you. So what do? You get up every morning, you put your boots on, tighten up your bootstraps, and you go out to do another day. Drill sergeant night. She respected me, Gray, because of our age. We were older than her. She called you in her office. "Gibbs, come here." I'm like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? She said, "Close the door." I said, "Yes, just sorry." And you standing there at attention. She said, "At ease." So you go to parade rest. And she said, "Sit down." So you sit down. And she said, "You ain't no spring chicken, Prime. You can't be out here with these 18 and 19 years old people, children, thinking that you're going to do the same thing they do. Your body is not going to allow you to do it." I said, "Drill sergeant, I'm going to do this, drill sergeant. Got too many people depending on me, drill sergeant. I'm going to do it, drill sergeant." You crying. And she's like, "You need to take care of yourself, Pride. Don't hurt yourself." So I said, "Okay, drill sergeant, go back out." So this particular day, I woke up feeling good, ankle not swollen, legs not hurting. I'm like, yeah, God, I'm through this. So it is cardio day. So that means running. I don't know if anybody ever has stress fractures or anything in your shins or whatever. So I don't know if gonna understand what I'm saying, but it's like, so we start out and our jog. We jogging. We all in formation. Then we get to this hill. We going up this hill. And all of a sudden, sharp pains just start shooting through my legs. And I'm like, oh. I don't cuss y'all, but I cursed that day. Oh, God. Oh, and I'm hollering. And my battles are looking at me. They running, and they like, uh, Mama G, you okay? Mama G, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But I'm slowly falling back. I'm slowly falling back. So now they have groups. They have A, B, C, and D group, and E. Those are the group. Those are the levels that you run in. So if you like run a mile or something in a certain amount of time, like if you sprinting your whole 3 miles or 2 miles, then you in A group, and then you go to B group, C group, D group. I was in C group. So because of my age, I had 21 minutes to do my 2 miles in. I'm like, oh, that's easy. 21 minutes, I could walk this. But when you hurt, 21 minutes seems like 2. But so I fall back. I fall back even behind E group. E group is pretty much walking, really. And so one drill sergeant, they kept coming back. My battalion kept coming back, kept coming back, kept coming back. And finally, drill sergeant said, you go ahead and take them, and I stay back here with Pride. And you got this drill sergeant hollering in your ear, run, Pride, run, run, Pride, run. And you say, I'm trying, drill sergeant, I'm trying. Run, Pride, run. I'm trying, drill sergeant. Now I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad because I'm telling you I'm trying. I'm trying my best to run. But you hollering in my ear don't make it any better. So now I'm getting stubborn. So the harder he yell in my ear, the slower I go. The more he yells, the slower I go. And then we get almost back to the battalion, and he was like, Pride, run. I was like, can't, Drill Sergeant, can't. You better run, Pride. I said, Drill Sergeant, I don't care. You got to do what you got to do. I said, because I done told you I can't run. Well, when we get back to the platoon, I'm going to write you up for, wait, hold on. I got to get it like he said. Lack of motivation, lack of dedication, something. And I said, well, you do what you got to do. And I chuckled and laughed and kept right on going. So we finally get back to our battalion, and drill sergeant said, Battle, I want to write her up. I'm going to write her up for lack of motivation, lack of dedication, da 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 da. And he was like, drill sergeant Knight, like, whoa. Drill sergeant told her, this is mine. What's going on? Drill sergeant told her, Battle, I told her to run out there, and she keep going slower and slower, telling me she can't do this and she can't do that. So yeah, I'm going to write her up. And she was like, no, Battle, no, you're not. If anything, my soldier showed more motivation and dedication because she wasn't even supposed to be out there. She said, Gibbs, go to the barracks. I'm going upstairs. I'm crying. I'm mad. When I cry, I'm mad. I see red. One of my battles say, Mama Gibbs, what's wrong? Mama G, what's wrong? I said, I hate Drill Sergeant Torres. I hate him. She says, oh, don't worry about Drill Sergeant Torres. I called him at his house, and his wife is mad at him. So I cried, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm thinking to myself, James, what are you talking about? If y'all knew James, y'all be like, James didn't take a bath. She's high. She was musty to high heaven. You see some things when you go to basic. You see some things. Girls don't want to take a bath. They on their cycle. They over down in a corner taking a baby wipe, taking a bath, and they smell like fish, straight up fish. You say, James, you're a pretty girl. You need to take care of your hygiene and da da da. So we had this fine drill sergeant. Good God Almighty, he was fine. Oh, 6 feet something, and Drill Sergeant Hendricks. Drill Sergeant Hendricks had it going on. My husband, though, guys, I love my husband, and this has been 21 years ago. So it's found out that James is going around telling everybody that her and Drill Sergeant Torres, she just said that she slept with Drill Sergeant Torres and Drill Sergeant Hendricks. And they called both of them in the office. And Drill Sergeant Hendricks got put on, they moved him to another unit because they couldn't have a drill sergeant at the same unit that a private said that they were sexually active with each other. So he was about to lose his rank and stuff because of her. Well, guys, we have a week before Victory Forge. I get a call from home that my great grandmama passed away. Military don't classify great grandmas as immediate family unless they raise you. But I had a battalion commander who was raised by his grandmother, so he felt my plight. All of them did. When I got the call, all I could do was fall to my knees, and I was just hollering and screaming, and everybody running over like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Soldiers that don't like you is running over because you're a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and regardless of what you feel, that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your battle, that's your person that has your front, your back, your left, your right. That's the person that, if you in a time of war, that's the person that's going to have you. They got you. So they over there and they's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I'm like, trying to get it out. And so by this time, drill sergeants out there, everything. And I'm like, and they have you're in the same barracks, but you on your left, and you got the females on the left and the males on the right. Now they got co-ed dorms, but during then now we were separated. And so the guys wasn't allowed in our sleeping quarters, and we wasn't allowed in their sleeping quarters. But I was broke down so bad that they had the guys carry me up the steps into the barracks and put me on my bed, on my bunk, as we call it. That was one of the hardest days in my life, to think about my grandmama being gone from this earth, and me I was going to not be able to say goodbye to her. And this is not racist what I'm getting ready to say. I'm just telling you a little bit about how we're not the only race that does this, but African Americans, our grandmothers, is like our heart. I mean, we see our grandmother we see our grandmothers just like we see our moms. And so those are the women that instill in you, that have gave your parent, your mom, all the value and the knowledge that she has, and then your mom done passed it. My great grandmama done passed it to my grandmama. My grandmama done passed it to my mom, and my mom done passed it to me. And now you're telling me that this woman that's the monarchy of my family, I can't go and say goodbye? So, drill sergeant talked to battalion commander. Battalion commander says she passed the PT test, and they said we take out the PT. I found the PT test, like I think it was like in a day or so, and so the battalion commander was like, "Well, she passed this PT test right before Victory Forge. We'll let her go and say goodbye to her grandmother." Remember, I'm hurt now. Now I got to run. Push up and sit up, no problem. Push up, sit up, no problem. Even though we cheated for each other. Ooh, we needed for each other. If a drill sergeant out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being real. We cheat for one another. We cheat for one another. But the only thing that you can't cheat for, help the other person with, is their run. The run, you're all on your own. So 8 times around the track that you have to run. 8 times around the track. You got these young 18, 19-year-old sprinting the whole 8 laps. I mean, sprinting the whole 8 laps. They lap you 2 or 3 times. And so all I'm thinking is, I gotta pass this PT test. I gotta pass. Gotta pass it. I gotta say bye to my grandmama. I gotta say bye. So all this is in my head. So I had 2 laps to go. And my battle started running around the outside of the track with me. I'm on the track. They on the inside running. Drill sergeant said, y'all can run with her, but y'all just can't touch her. So everybody crowd around me and pretty much pushing me on without pushing me. Pushing me without pushing me. They actually pushing me. I'm not running I pretty much am being pushed, but drill sergeant can't see, but they know what's going on. Drill sergeant know what's going on. So I get to my last lap and they say, she got to do it on her own now. She got to do it on her own. So I'm trying. I'm running. Drill sergeant said, just don't stop. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. Don't stop running. Don't stop running. Just eat. Just walk, run, walk, run, walk, run. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying. I still believe to this day, my drill sergeants were very lenient with me, because I don't think even 21 minutes. I just don't think I did my 2 miles in 21 minutes. But all I know that I was going home, and I was going home to say goodbye to my grandma. Everybody said, "Daggone, where you at?" Because when I came home, I was this big. And when I left, I was this big. When I came home, I was this big. And I'm gonna let y'all go in a second. I really am. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna get to what I was getting at in just a minute. Give me about 2 more minutes, and then I'll give you the breaking. I'll give you the breaking point. So I go home. I say goodbye to my grandma. I have a nice time, have a nice weekend, 3 days. Then I got to go back to reality. So it's hard. It's very, very hard to be gone away from your family for that long and then get to come for 3 days to see them, and you get to see your children, and you get to lay in your own bed. You get to take your own shower by yourself. You get to just be you again. Be you. I ain't gonna lie. He my husband now, but I was missing that man. Mm, 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 mm. Woo! Okay, come back, Ada. Come back. Come back. Come back. So, I don't know if you know what Victory Forge is. Victory Forge is where you go out and now you got to put everything that you learned, the basic training, all of it is combined in one. Got to dig a foxhole up to here. Got to be able to stay in your drill sergeants play tricks on you. They come, they may throw a gas bomb, and you know the first person that see it got to say gas, gas, gas. You got to put on your mask. You got to seal it and all that, and you got to stay in it until it said all clear, all clear. You take your mask off. Then you got to do shifts in your foxhole, as they call it. And you get creative when you got to stand in a foxhole for 8 hours. You should see some of the foxholes got seats in them, and you're so tired. You're so tired, and you got to walk that 5-6 miles back with everything that you have. Your rucksack's supposed to weigh like 50-60 pounds. But drill sergeant them be like, as long as you got it on your back, as long as you do what you want, I whatever you put in your sea bag to put on the truck to go, that's fine. We don't care. So you stuff in your bag, like you stuff your raincoat and all that in your bag because that's real light, and it looks like your bag is like really heavy, but it's not. And so, drill sergeant said, how's your legs doing, Pride? I said, drill sergeant, don't think I'm gonna make it, drill sergeant. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I said, I know I cannot march no 6 miles back. I know I can't. I know I can't. So drill sergeant say, Pride, just start. She said, just start. And once you start, she said, I'll put you on the back of the truck. So I was like, okay. I felt so, what's the word I'm looking for? Respected. I felt so respected in that moment. But when you know it, somebody here, drill sergeant, telling me that. So now it's all around the battalion. All you got to do is start your march, and then you could get put on the back of the truck. So the word got to, I'm hot now. I'm mad. I'm mad. This been 20-something years ago, and I'm mad. I'm still mad about this. Then to get back to the battalion commander, he says, he put it out on loud at the announcements in the morning. I know everybody got plans to start their march and then get on the truck, but I'll tell you this. If you don't march the whole 6 miles, then you will be out marching it before you graduate. If it don't take one person to ruin it for everybody. So what did I have to do? 6 miles. Legs on fire, feet, you could feel the feet swollen. All I'm doing is, God, please, it's just you, God. First I said, it's you and me, God. It's you and me, God. It's you and me. We can do this, God. We can do this. And by the time I think I can't go anymore, by the time I think I'm going to say, drill sergeant, I got to get on the truck, something happens. and we stop the march. So one time we stopped for about an hour and a half, and you laying down in the prone position with your weapon, and it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that this happened. And I felt sorry for the soldier that it happened to. They had to actually call a rescue squad out to pick them up because they passed out and they just couldn't go. And they have a little ceremony for you when you get back to your battalion. So probably about after, I don't know, halfway through whatever, I went from God is you and me to God, this is you, this is all you. I can't do it. If it's gonna be done, it's you, God. I put my faith and I trust in you. I prayed for 6 miles nonstop. I will fall back. I will fall back. I will fall back. I will fall back. And then my battles would say, come on, Mama Gibbs, come on. You can do this. You can do this. So I'm back in formation now. Slowly fall back, fall back. And then your last half a mile, you have to stay with your battalion. You have to stay with your platoon and your company. You have to stay with your platoon, your company, then it's your battalion. So you got your platoons, your I just said it. Whatever you go, it's a line. It's a line. The whole people, your whole battalion is doing Victory Forge at that one time. And so as you finish Victory Forge, they had this little ceremony for you, in front of your barracks, and they give you this medal. They give you the medal that signifies that you're one of them. You are in the brotherhood, or you're in the brotherhood sisterhood thing, kind of thing. Little metal round coin thing they get you. And so they were having a ceremony when we got back to the battalion. So we had to stop like 2 blocks from the barracks. And when we stopped, it was a hill on the side of the road. I mean, tell you, I stopped and I fell straight back. Boom. Everybody was like, Mama Gibbs, you all right? You all right? I just couldn't move. I couldn't move. I couldn't feel my body from my waist down. And God came in again. And we stayed in that position for about 10 to 15 minutes, long enough for me to start feeling the lower part of my body. And I was able to march up to the battalion. Went through the ceremony, got back to the barracks, took my shower, and I hit my rack and I slept. And when Reveille came, we had this thing, 21 days and a wake up, 10 days and a wake up. And then when we got the 1 day and a wake up, or 0 days and a wake up, I mean, it felt good. It felt good to know that I was 32 years old. I went through basic training. I didn't get recycled. I didn't get reboot, but it was by the grace of God. It really was. Because I spent majority of my time on profile, but then we had to go through AIT. Lord Jesus, whew. But anyway, I made it through. So, long story, they were going to, I mean, God just he was with me. And I know this is not a religious thing, but I just thought to tell you that God is good and I cannot deny him. I don't live my life completely 100, but I know one thing, God is part of my life, and I can't deny him if I wanted to. But so I'm 100%. And 100% in the military, whether you've been in the service 30 years or you've been in service 1 year, if you're 100%, you get paid the same thing across the board. Everybody get paid the same thing. So I haven't worked since I came out of basic training, and um about 2 months ago I got a letter in the mail saying that your 100% has been changed to 90% because they said that in 2021 you worked. I was like, I worked? When did I work? I haven't worked a job in. So 90, you think 90%, 90%, you still getting paid. 90%, they took almost $2,000. And I'm like, what the F is going on? I call, you call VA and they're like, well, Social Security say that you worked in 2021, so we need your employer to fill out. I said, how am I gonna have an employer to fill out something when I don't have an employer? So they was like, well, we got to figure this out, but until we figure it out, you got to stay at 90%. So just think about you having an income and over. I'm gonna just say 90%. Say it's $100, and they take 90% of your $100. So you left with $10, and $10 you have to pay everything that you were paying with that $100. Now I'm blessed in the fact that my husband takes care of me. And I'm blessed to the fact that I'm not tied to a 100%. But that's my money. VA says, oh, we can't see where you worked at. Well, we don't see anything in our record showing this. So you call Social Security. Social Security say, no, we don't have anything in our records. I can see here you haven't worked since 2000, da 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 da. And I was like, well, how is something saying that I worked in 2021? I ain't filed a tax return and da 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 da. So they was like, we don't know. We don't have anything. VA saying they don't have anything. So I'm saying, okay, well, where's my money at? If you can't find it, they can't find it. Where's my money? I need my money. So they didn't want to give me my money. So now we get to where I wanted to get after an hour being up here. It's a movie called Breaking. Y'all should watch it. And it's based on a true story. This man served his country. He was a Marine. I'm not gonna hold that against him, but he was a Marine. And he came home. And if you owe Uncle Sam gonna get it. He don't care how you gonna get it, he gonna get it. So this particular gentleman, they said he owed student loans. They said he owed student loans. And so they took his money, his VA money. And he was like, I depend on that money. You gonna have me out on the street. I can't feed myself, da da da. So he went into a Wells Fargo's bank. He allowed all the customers to leave. He allowed everybody to leave except for the head manager and the assistant manager. And he went in to get $25 out of his account. The lady gave it to him. She was talking about her children and how she couldn't wait to get home to spend time with them because of this, and that. And he was like, yeah, he was just not really saying much of anything. I think he asked her, does she have something to write with? So she gave him a piece of paper and a pen, and he wrote on it, I have a bomb. And so The head manager sees her assistant manager face, and she can tell that she thought that he was robbing the bank, but he was like, no, he was like, he wanted his story to get out. He wanted people to see how veterans are treated when they come home from after serving their country. This man, I have to say he held up the bank, because he held two hostages, FBI, all of the initials that you can think of, um, FBI, CSI, PD, and all these people was out in front of this Wells Fargo bank, and he wanted his story out. So he wanted all the news people out. He wanted his story on air. He wanted the world to see. So he was like, he wanted the VA to give him his money. The hostage negotiator came and said, well, tell me what the VA owes you so we can see what we can do. You know how much he held that bank up for? $891.48. That's what the VA took from him. $891.48. And everybody looked at themselves like, that's it? But to us, $849 and $891.48 may not be anything to us, but remember that that $100 you take night, that was his livelihood. That's what he gave. He made a life for his ex-wife and his daughter. And he said, I'm not leaving here today. He said, I'm not going to die. He said, I'm not going to make it out of here. They're going to kill me. He told the two women, he said, I have a bomb, but before I let the bomb off, I'm going to let both of y'all go, because I'm going to die alone here today. And so the hostage negotiator asked him, well, what can we do to resolve this situation? First, he wanted to talk to his daughter. So he finally talked to his daughter. He talked to his ex-wife. He talked to his daughter and his ex-wife. And, told his daughter that, she was going to be okay and always be good to people and different things to that nature. And finally, the hostage negotiator had him to a point where he was going to release the hostages. But the guy, Randy, I think his name is Randy, told the hostage negotiator that he wanted some cigarettes. So the hostage negotiator asked him, well, what kind? He said Newport's Longs. So the hostage negotiator went to the store to get it. And by the time he came back, somebody had made a decision to shoot Randy. So a sniper, he had talked to his daughter, and he asked his daughter to pray with him. And he read Isaiah, can't remember I know a word, but you can ask me verse and that I can't. But he prayed the Lord is my refuge and my savior, and that one. He prayed that with his daughter, and then he said amen. He got up, he went out into the lobby where the two managers were, and he was standing there, and he had just told them, you two ladies go ahead and leave. And as he said that, he was like, I've been reading this book, and he was getting ready to say the Bible, and next thing you see is blood spattering on the manager. and they holler and scream, and of course they bust the door down and all that. But I say all this to say, and oh, this is the kicker. The person that owed the money was not even him. But and then the VA lady told the news lady that it wasn't him. It was a mistake that the VA made, but the VA didn't want to correct it. So this man died for $891.48. But the thing was, the manager was saying, I'll give you $891.48 so we can all go home. She said, I'm tired of telling my son my son asked me, what did I do to save them? What did I do to save them? I'm tired of having to tell my son, answer that question for my son. She tried to get him the $891.48. And he was like, I don't want your money. I didn't come here for your money. I want the VA to give me my money. And finally, she convinced him to take the $891.48 from the bank. But when she went in to give it to him, they had froze his account, so she couldn't do it. And he was like, they really keeping my money. They really not going to give me my money. And so he died for $891.48. This happened in 2017. But the movie is called Breaking. And I don't think the VA realized what they do to us when they take from us, when they make a mistake. And that could have been me. I could have went in and held up a bank because they took my money. And I knew it was a mistake that they made. And if it wasn't because of my family, if I was by myself, I probably would have. Not went in there and the bank thing, but I wasn't going to be homeless. I know me, I wouldn't be homeless, and I wouldn't ask my family for anything. And it's not because of that I know my family wouldn't do it for me. It's just it's pride. I'll say it, it's pride, and it's because I was raised to be a strong, independent woman, and what I look like if I'm a strong, independent woman, and I have to go to my family and ask for help. Now that's my mentality. That's not because of my family. It's just a mental thing, and it's because my family look up to me, and I feel like if I have to go to my family and ask them for something, then I'm less than. But I thank God that my daughter and the females in my family are strong women. My daughter and my son and my stepdaughter. She's not my stepdaughter, she's my daughter, but I have to say my stepdaughter, all of them are doing good, and I thank God for that. My son is a chef. He's a private chef. He that's what he finally figured out what he wanted to do is like, and that's to cook, coach football, and spend time with his son, raise his son. That's my son's desire, and he's doing it. My daughter, she's a go-getter. She has a a lawn service. She does like candles and stuff like that. She sells that, and that's on her Amazon front. She's a pastry chef, so she does that. Her and her brother was supposed to go in business together, but didn't do that. And she also does things like shirts and different things like that. So she has 4 businesses, 4 successful businesses. So she take care of her mama now. If I need something, I call her. Mom, she either cash apping me Or Ma, did you get the food yet? I was like, what food? I just ordered you some McAllister's and they say it's been delivered. And I go out, sure enough, they leave it on the porch. I don't know. That's stupid. Why you gonna leave somebody food on the porch? But anyway, so she's taking care of her mom now. My son, he may he may not have. He's tight on his dollar. I'm gonna tell you, both of them tight on a dollar. But I love the connection that they have. All three of them. I love that connection that they have. It's like they're real sibling. Like I birthed all three of them, which I didn't. Gwen, if you're watching this, I don't mean no harm. I know you, anyway, but they get along. All of them 2 years apart. Their birthdays are June, July, August. But I say all that, guys, to say that you never know a person's journey in life, and that's just my military. Now, that's just the tip of my military career. That if I tell you everything, you wouldn't believe it. But all I'm saying is respect your veterans. Respect the people that fight for you every day, that don't know you, but they're willing to lay down their life for you. Respect them. When they come home and they're hurt and they're broke down, don't turn your back on them. Don't turn your back on them. Do something for them. I mean, do you know how hard it is for them to come and be homeless and beg for food and shelter when they fought for our country? They was willing to lay down their life. We come home with post-traumatic stress disorder and people want to say, oh, that ain't nothing. Y'all just doing this. That's not a real thing. It's not a real thing to you because you only had to deal with it. But in VA, y'all know y'all wrong. Y'all know y'all wrong. You don't want to give them what is due. You don't want to give us what's due. We got to fight for what's ours. We fight for it. We fight for it. But I say all of that to say, watch the movie Breaking, and you will. And if you watch that movie and you can't respect your veterans, I don't care what it is: Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, National Guard, whatever it is, show them some respect. Please show them some respect because they deserve it. I ain't even gonna say me. I feel bad because I didn't get to serve 20, 30 years. And I cry about that because I only served 8, 4 really. And you really want to be honest about it, I served probably 2. But we give up a lot and I'm not saying that it's not other people out there that don't give up a lot, because they do. And some of them don't even go through basic training or be in the armed forces. You got police officers, firefighters, doctors, nurses. You got all these professions that made a vow to save people or do right by people or protect somebody. And a lot of people treat them like dirt. And we're not perfect by a long shot. We're not perfect by a long shot. But please show a veteran their due respect. Because if not, you're going to constantly have veterans killing themselves killing somebody else, robbing, stealing, killing, and not because they want to, it's because they have to. And some of them it's because their mind is still on that football field with bullets flying over their head. And I know my channel is a DIY channel, and I know that, I've been absent, and I tried to tell y'all about my mental state, and it's hard. It's hard. It really is. But I am going to post something for y'all tomorrow. But to all those out there that say, "Oh, we don't want to see no little snippets, or we don't want to see this. We want to see the whole thing." Well, go to somebody else's channel. Point blank, period. Go to somebody else's channel. And it is what it is. I used to um be worried about, oh, I don't have 100,000 subscribers, and this person have 100,000 subscribers now, and they started after me, and this da 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 da. I was letting the enjoyment of DIYing get away from me, because it wasn't about the pleasure anymore. It wasn't about the satisfaction I got from making something from much or nothing, making something that cost maybe $5, $3, or $5, make it look like it's worth $100, only to have somebody look at you. It's crazy. You spend so much time on making a DIY, thinking about it, editing the video, posting the video, and then you get 400 views or 300 views, and somebody over there that's just I don't know, burping, and they get 100,000 views because they burping, and you done spent all this time over here creating something, and somebody over there burping, and they got millions of subscribers. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But guys, I thank you for listening to me for 123. I thank you for doing that. And for the ones that look at this later, and if you make it to this part, leave nasty comments if you want. I don't care. I don't. My life is not judged by what you write down in the comments area, and you should know that by now. If you come here to try to belittle me, try to belittle this or belittle that, hey, it does not work on me. It does not work on me. And besides, my true ride or dies, I really don't have to say anything because they still have my back. But I'm not gonna stoop to your level. You have your right to have your opinions, and I'm going to respect your opinion, but at the same token, respect mine, because I don't have to do YouTube. I'm not tied to YouTube. YouTube is not my source of income. To be honest, everything that I get from YouTube go back into YouTube. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to my rant. Thank you for loving me for who I am, and loving me as a person, and not just the DIYs that I put out. Thank you for loving me, Ada. Not just design on a dollar, me, me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for understanding that I have, I'm up 1 minute and down the next minute. And I thank you for understanding that I'm human. I'm human. I'm going to always be human. I said, oh, Ada, you got to change who you are. You got to get dressed up now. If you want to make it to 100,000 subscribers, you got to put on makeup. You got to have fake laughs. You got to do fake this and fake that. I'm not a fake person. So if you can't deal with this right here and PJs, then what? You didn't come here for that. You came here for the DIY that you're sitting down looking at, buying the products to do it yourself. That's what you came here for. Or did you come to see what's in my house or how I'm living? Did you come for that? If you came for that, then hey, just tell me. I'll take you on a tour of what God has blessed me with, what God has allowed my husband to bless me with. I'll take you on a tour. I will. Let you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I let you see how it is. Not how fake it is, how people make it seem like their house is so spotless. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. That's not me. I got dust. If I run my hand across it, let me see. Yep, I got dust right there. I know that kills some people. Yep, I got dust on my bed. Whoop, sure do. But it's my bed. So on that, I'm getting off for real this time. I love you guys. And remember, you are a crafty diva, a divine, innovative, victorious achiever. And on that, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you to the moon and back again. And when I say that, I truly, truly, truly mean it. I love you guys. Bye.